What if your garden could survive the hottest summer days, without you constantly watering it, worrying about it, or even taking care of it every single day? Now imagine this. While other plants are drying out and dying in the heat, your herbs are still growing stronger, greener, and more flavorful, completely on their own. Sounds impossible? It's not. Because nature already created plants that are built for extreme heat, neglect, and survival. And once you plant them, they keep coming back year after year, like free food forever. In today's video, you're going to discover 9 heat-loving perennial herbs that practically take care of themselves, and reward you with endless harvests every summer. Most people think gardening in hot climates is a struggle. The sun is too strong, the soil dries too fast, and plants need constant attention just to survive. But here's the truth most beginners don't know. Some herbs don't just tolerate heat, they actually thrive in it. These are not your fragile supermarket herbs. These are survival plants, built for harsh sun, dry soil, and minimal care. In fact, many of them grow better when you ignore them a little. Once established, they don't need daily watering. They don't need rich soil. And they don't need constant maintenance. They just grow, season after season, year after year. And that's exactly what this video is about. You're going to learn about 9 powerful perennial herbs that you plant only once, and they keep coming back every summer, giving you fresh harvests with almost zero effort. If you're someone who wants a low-maintenance garden, wants to grow food in extreme heat, or just wants fresh herbs without stress, then you're going to love what's coming next. Herb number 1, rosemary, heat survivor king. Let's start with one of the toughest herbs you can ever grow, rosemary. This plant looks simple, but it's actually a survival expert. Rosemary naturally grows in rocky Mediterranean regions where the sun is intense, the soil is dry, and rainfall is rare. That means it is perfectly built for hot climates like South Asia, Middle East, and dry summer regions. Once you plant rosemary and it becomes established, it almost stops depending on you. You don't need to water it every day. In fact, overwatering can actually harm it more than neglect. What makes rosemary special is its woody structure and deep root system. It searches for moisture deep in the soil instead of relying on surface water. Even in extreme heat, it stays green and aromatic. And the best part? You can harvest it all year. Just trim a few stems, and it grows back stronger every time. It's basically a permanent flavor machine in your garden. Number 2. Thyme, tiny but unbreakable. Thyme is one of the smallest herbs, but don't underestimate it. It's incredibly tough. This plant thrives in dry, rocky, and hot environments. In fact, thyme produces better flavor when it is slightly stressed. That means the less you pamper it, the stronger it becomes. Thyme doesn't like rich soil or too much water. It prefers full sun and dry conditions, which makes it perfect for neglected gardens or hot rooftops. Once planted, thyme spreads slowly like a natural carpet. It covers soil, reduces weeds, and protects itself from harsh sun. Even if you forget about it for weeks, it keeps growing. You can harvest thyme leaves any time by gently trimming the stems. It regrows quickly and stays productive for years. If you want a zero-maintenance herb that survives extreme heat and still gives you flavor-packed leaves, thyme is one of the best choices you can make. Number 3. Oregano, wild flavor powerhouse. Oregano is another heat-loving perennial that behaves like a wild plant once established. It originally grows in mountainous Mediterranean climates where summers are hot and dry. That's why oregano doesn't just survive heat, it actually thrives in it. The most interesting thing about oregano is that stress improves its flavor. When the soil is dry and conditions are tough, the leaves become more aromatic and strong in taste. Oregano spreads naturally and forms dense patches over time. It doesn't require constant watering or fertilizing. In fact, too much care can weaken it. Once it grows, you can harvest it continuously throughout the summer. Just cut the stems, and it grows back quickly. It also attracts pollinators like bees, which helps your entire garden ecosystem. If you want a plant that gives you strong culinary flavor while surviving neglect and heat waves, oregano is a must-have in your garden. Number 4. Sage, desert-style survivor. Sage is one of the most resilient herbs for hot climates. This plant has thick, slightly fuzzy leaves that help it retain moisture and survive strong sunlight. It naturally grows in dry, rocky soils where other plants struggle. Sage doesn't need frequent watering. In fact, too much water can damage its roots. It prefers dry soil and full sun exposure, making it perfect for hot summers. Once established, sage becomes a long-living perennial shrub. It can survive for many years with minimal care. You can harvest sage leaves anytime, and the plant continues producing new growth. The more you prune it, the bushier it becomes. Besides being useful in cooking, sage also has a strong aroma that naturally repels some pests. If your garden gets extreme heat and you want a reliable herb that never gives up, sage is one of the strongest options you can grow. Number 5. Mint, fast-spreading survivor. Mint is one of the most aggressive and fast-growing herbs in the world. Unlike other herbs, mint doesn't just survive, it takes over. Even in hot climates, it keeps coming back every season without much effort. Mint grows through underground runners, which means even if the top dies back, the roots stay alive and regenerate new plants. It can grow in sun or partial shade, but in hot climates, a little shade actually helps it stay fresh and green. One important thing to know, mint spreads fast. That's why many gardeners grow it in pots to control its growth. Once established, mint requires very little care. You can harvest leaves regularly for tea, cooking, or drinks, and it keeps regenerating. Its strong scent also helps repel insects naturally. If you want a beginner-friendly herb that survives neglect and keeps coming back stronger every year, mint is one of the easiest choices. Number 6. Lemon balm, citrus-scented healer. Lemon balm is a refreshing herb that thrives surprisingly well in warm conditions. It belongs to the mint family, which means it is also a fast grower and highly resilient. Once planted, it returns every year without needing replanting. This herb loves sunlight but can also tolerate partial shade, especially in extremely hot regions. It grows quickly and spreads easily, forming green patches in your garden. Lemon balm has a natural citrus fragrance that becomes stronger when you rub the leaves. It's commonly used in teas and natural remedies. Even if you ignore it for weeks, it continues to grow. In fact, overcare is not necessary. Just occasional watering during extreme drought is enough. It also attracts bees and pollinators, which helps other plants in your garden. If you want a low-maintenance herb that smells amazing and survives heat stress, lemon balm is a perfect addition. Number 7. Chives, cut-and-come-again herb. Chives are one of the easiest perennial herbs for any garden. They grow in clumps and have long, thin green leaves with a mild onion-like flavor. What makes them special is their ability to regrow extremely fast after harvesting. Chives are highly adaptable and can survive both heat and mild drought conditions. Once established, they return every year without replanting. They prefer sunlight but can tolerate partial shade as well, making them very flexible for different garden setups. When you cut chives, they don't stop growing, they actually produce fresh new shoots quickly. They are also pest-resistant and rarely get damaged by insects. You can use them in salads, soups, and cooking for a fresh flavor boost. If you want a simple herb that gives continuous harvests with almost no effort, chives are one of the most reliable choices. Number 8. Lavender, heat-loving beauty plant. Lavender is not just beautiful, it's extremely tough. This plant naturally grows in hot, dry regions with poor soil. That means it actually prefers neglect over constant care. Lavender thrives in full sunlight and requires very little water once established. Too much watering can harm it, so dry conditions are ideal. Its purple flowers and strong fragrance make it one of the most popular garden herbs worldwide. Lavender is also known for attracting bees and butterflies, which helps pollinate nearby plants. Once planted, it becomes a long-living perennial shrub that comes back every year with minimal effort. You can harvest its flowers for tea, oils, or decoration. If you want a combination of beauty, fragrance, and survival ability in extreme heat, lavender is one of the best plants you can grow. Number 9. Tarragon, underrated heat champion. Tarragon is often overlooked, but it is a powerful perennial herb for warm climates. It prefers sunny conditions and well-drained soil. Once it adapts to your garden, it returns every year without needing replanting. Tarragon has a unique flavor that is slightly sweet and anise-like, making it popular in cooking. It doesn't require heavy watering and actually performs better when the soil is not too moist. This herb grows in clumps and can be harvested regularly. The more you cut it, the more it produces fresh shoots. It is also quite resistant to pests and diseases, which makes it ideal for low-maintenance gardening. If you are building a survival-style herb garden for hot weather, tarragon is a hidden gem that deserves more attention. Now here's something most gardeners never realize. And this is the real secret behind all these heat-loving perennial herbs. They don't fail because of heat. They fail because of too much care. In hot climates, the biggest mistake is overwatering. When soil stays too wet in extreme heat, roots suffocate, diseases spread, and the plant slowly dies, even if you're trying to help it. But these herbs we talked about today are different. They are designed for survival, not luxury conditions. So here's the golden rule. Backhand index pointing right: less water, more sunlight, and well-drained soil equals stronger herbs. If you treat them like desert plants instead of tropical plants, they will reward you with healthier growth, stronger flavor, and continuous harvests. Sometimes the best gardening strategy is not doing more, but doing less. So now you know it. These 9 heat-loving perennial herbs can completely change the way you think about gardening in extreme temperatures. Instead of fighting the heat, you can actually work with it and grow plants that come back every year with almost no effort. Just imagine, plant once, forget daily stress, and still enjoy fresh herbs all summer long for years. That's the power of choosing the right plants. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected for more low-maintenance gardening secrets that actually work in real-life conditions. And now I want to ask you, backhand index pointing right, which of these herbs are you going to plant first in your garden? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to know.